What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Food Tales. I got a Thanksgiving special for you guys today. But before we get into this, make sure you guys drop a big thumbs up for me. Drop a nice comment down for me below. And make sure you guys are subscribed and having your post notifications so you don't miss any of my new videos. Let's get into this. All right, guys, so I'm going to get right into this. So tomorrow is Canadian Thanksgiving, which is October 12th. So happy early Thanksgiving to you guys. Well, by the time you guys see this, already passed by 2 days. But it's all good. So I'm gonna be showing you my favorite Thanksgiving treat, which is pumpkin pie. It's much better when you make it from scratch. So throw away the pumpkin puree and throw away the pre-made dough, because I'm gonna show you guys how to make pumpkin pie from scratch. So let's get into this. Alright guys, so we're starting off with some sugar pumpkins. I'm just cutting the top off just so it's a little easier for me to cut in half. I'm going to clear out all the guts and remove the seeds, and hold on to that because you can make some nice pumpkin seeds later on. I'm going to be hitting all the pumpkins with a little bit of olive oil just because it's going on the foil paper. It's going to give it a little bit of protection. And we're looking to do this for about 40 to 45 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright guys, so coming up now, you see that they're all done. You see that the skin has actually been punched in a little bit. It's very soft, and that's what you're looking for. So we're just going to let that cool down for a bit, and we're just going to pull off the skin, and we're going to get all of the pumpkin meat actually cut up and situated into our blender. As you can see, I'm kind of being very careful because it's still pretty hot, yet you can actually see the steam kind of coming up, but it's not too bad. So we're just gonna put that into our blender. We're gonna blend it up for probably only gonna take about a minute. It doesn't take very long. If you don't have a cheesecloth, you're gonna see that I have paper towel there with a strainer. You're gonna want to do that because it's actually gonna produce a lot of actual liquid, so it's gonna produce quite a bit. So you want to make sure that you strain that out because you want a pumpkin puree. You don't want it to be too wet. So I'm just getting that sectioned out, and then we're going to be getting our dough set up in the next clip, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Alright guys, so we're starting off with 2 cups of flour. We're doing 40 grams of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and there's no measurement on this, but you're just gonna put a pinch of nutmeg and a pinch of cinnamon inside of the flour. I'm telling you guys, this will bring your dough to the next level. We have our cubed up butter, which is about 225 grams that has been in the freezer. You want to make sure it's very, very cold. Make sure you guys coat it with the flour before you start breaking it up because it's gonna slow down the process of it melting. Remember, you don't want it to melt. You kind of want those nice pea-sized chunks inside of your dough. So we're just gonna continue to do that until we get our pea-sized buttered pieces, and you're gonna see now that this is exactly what you want. You see them, all those little small clumps. We're gonna be adding 4 tablespoons of water. There's no real measurement. You want to do it until your dough kind of clumps up, and that's what I did it until, which turned out to be 4 tablespoons. You want to knead this just a little bit, guys. You don't want to knead it too much. You're just going to do it so the dough comes together. You can start actually putting it into your disc shape. It makes it much easier when you want to roll it out the next day. We're going to hit that with some plastic wrap. We're going to continue shaping it into a disc, and then we're actually going to let that sit in the refrigerator for 24 hours. I'll see you guys the next day.
The next day.
Alright guys, it's the next day. You can see all of our butter specks all around the dough. That's exactly what you're looking for, guys. When it comes out of the fridge, it's actually going to be very hard, so let it come down to room temperature. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention, you don't need to do 24 hours. You can actually do like 30 minutes to an hour. I just chose to do that. So coming up in the next clip, you're gonna see how I'm gonna roll this out. Stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so you're going to see that I'm actually hitting my dough with a rolling pin. My dough was still a little bit stiff, so that helped to kind of ease it up a bit. So the main important thing is to have a lot of flour. You want to make sure that your dough does not crack, and the flour is going to help to make sure that it doesn't stick and that it doesn't crack. So you can see that I've rolled it out quite a fair bit, and I'm able to actually just turn it, do a full 360 with it. That's when you know you have enough flour and you don't have to worry about your dough sticking. Okay, so coming up now, I'm going to show you how you can roll up your dough to put it on your pie plate. Do this very slowly because you have a really good chance of breaking your dough. So you're just going to roll it up slowly and roll it right back over your pie plate. I'm using about a 9.5 inch pie plate, so that's what it's kind of the standard for a pie plate. And as you can see here now, I'm cutting off a little bit of the excess dough. So you want to leave about an inch. That's what I did. And you're going to start to tuck the dough underneath the pie plate, and that's where you're going to get that nice crimping when you actually start to do that coming up in this clip. So we just did that all around. And then to start the process of the crimping, just take your thumb and push it in, and you're going to take your other 2 fingers and kind of like squeeze it together, and that's where you're going to get that nice shape for your pie. And then after a couple of minutes, we're good to go. Alright guys, so you're going to see that I'm actually poking some holes in the middle of my dough. We're actually going to be blind baking this, so this is going to help release some of the steam so our dough doesn't get soggy in the middle. So I'm using some kidney beans to kind of press everything down. Just use a parchment paper and kind of make sure that the kidney beans go right up to the edge to make sure that our dough doesn't collapse. So we're going to do this for about 10 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And after that, this is exactly how it looks after the 10 minutes. We're going to hit this with a little bit of an egg wash just along the edges to get a nice golden brown color. And we're going to do that to the middle also, just to kind of put a little bit of barrier between the holes and the actual pumpkin batter. We're going to put that back in for another 5 minutes. And when it comes back out, it looks exactly like that. You can see that the dough is puffed up a little bit, but you're just going to push that down and then you let that cool off, and we're going to get our pumpkin pie batter all set up. Stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, we're starting out with 15 ounces of our homemade pumpkin puree, and we're going to be doing 3 eggs, so 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. That's going to give it a nice consistency and to make sure that there's no major cracks in our pumpkin pie. We're just going to mix that together. We have 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. That's what's going to give it that nice sweet taste that pumpkin pie is known for. We're going to be doing 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're also going to be hitting this with half a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to be doing 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're doing a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/8 of ground cloves. That's what I personally like in my pumpkin pie. We're just going to mix that together, and we're going to pour that into our pumpkin pie crust that we made. That's been cooling down. And after you're done pouring this out, you're going to get a lot of air pockets, but it's totally fine. All you have to do is actually just tap it against the table and all that goes away. We're going to be baking this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 to 50 minutes, guys. Alright guys, so after 50 minutes, our pie looks amazing. There's no major cracking, there's no weeping, there's no moisture buildup. And you guys have to make sure that you let it sit in your oven for about 30 minutes after with the oven off and your door propped open. That's going to let it come down to a nice temperature just so it doesn't get shocked by the temperature of your kitchen. And guys, that's exactly how you make pumpkin pie. Then you can put it on your cooling rack for about 30 minutes to an hour. Coming up, I'm going to be making some homemade whipped cream. I don't recommend doing this by hand, but honestly, my electric mixer, I don't know where it is, but anyways, I did do 1 cup of whipping cream. We're going to be doing 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. We're going to whisk that together for a bit, and once you see that consistency, we're going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. Then we're going to follow that with a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're going to whip that together for a couple more minutes, and then you're going to see that our whipping cream is perfect. You're going to see that it has those nice peaks, and we're good to go, guys. See you in the mukbang. Okay guys, our pie is all done. So this is probably one of my favorite desserts that I love to have during Thanksgiving, which is pumpkin pie. And guys, I think it came out perfect. We had the homemade whipped cream, everything made from scratch. Not gonna be a long one today for the mukbang portion, but I'm just gonna bite into this and I'll give you guys a nice little closer look of this. As you can see, guys, it's not cracked. There's no major crack, no weeping, and that's what you want out of your pies. You don't want to have any weeping. You don't want to have any large cracks. So yeah, this is exactly how it came out, guys. So I'm gonna get into this very quickly. As I said, this is my favorite Thanksgiving treat. So let's see how this tastes. In case the lighting is off and you can't see that. Wow, that is really good, and that's exactly how you make pumpkin pie. Wow, and guys, that crust is no joke. Sunday, I was at Costco. Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah, I was at Costco 2 days ago, and they're selling a bunch of pumpkin pies, and if you just look at it, like it just looks sad. So this takes a little bit more effort, but I promise you, it's a lot better just to make it by yourself. Like, it's so easy. This is really good. And the crust, oh my god. Adding a little bit of the nutmeg and cinnamon inside of the crust when I first started. It's a game changer. The last bite. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this Thanksgiving special. As I said before, happy Thanksgiving to everyone from Canada, as it is tomorrow. Happy early Thanksgiving to anybody in the States or around the world. Man, that was really good, guys. Hopefully you guys learned some nice tips of making pumpkin pie from scratch. Before you guys head off of this video, make sure you guys drop a big like for me. Make sure you guys drop a nice comment for me down below. Make sure you guys subscribe and have on your post notifications so you don't miss any of my new videos. Also, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. It's sashin.marfoodtales. That's where I kind of keep you guys updated with everything Marv Food Tales throughout the week and on upload days. And guys, you already know how it goes. If you're Marv, stay tuned for the next episode. Marv, gang!